Okay. Mhm. Whoa. All right, there we go. So now I have the chart open this time, and let's see. Gotta arrange the windows a bit. Too many windows open. Gotta get rid of a few. Okay, and it's gonna bug me, so I'm gonna arrange this right in the center of my head. Okay, cool. The lighting looks weird because it's it's nighttime. I'm gonna say it's 5 p.m., but it's already dark, so I have like a lamp set up and everything. Um, but yeah, natural light just isn't enough these days. Cool. So I wanted to build a pricing screen, and let's see, Steve Schoger. Mm, this one. Let me open the image in the new window. Yep, so this is the one. I want to kind of get this one and then also these. The rest of them, I think, are just like variations. So if you get one, you get all of them. Okay, okay. Okay, let's see. So, what is it rendering? I think it's rendering the sidebar example. I want the pricing example, which is nothing right now. Perfect. Okay, let me also start the server. So this is going to be npx devtools server tailwind config. That looks good. Get rid of that. And by the way, what's interesting is my Tailwind config. Wait, what folder am I running? This, okay. I'm actually running the 2.0 alpha, the alpha 19, which is I think like a day old or something. And my Tailwind config then has some like extended colors. So what's really interesting with the new Tailwind thingy is that they've included a few colors, I think. Yeah, there we go. They have like pink, purple. Ooh, this has increased since yesterday. Nice. Uh, green, blue. But then I was using teal and blue gray, which they don't have in the default config, but they actually just export all of the colors now, which is super cool. So, where am I? The config. Where's the what just happened? Where's the code? Huh? Masters. Okay, that's strange. But oh well, new thing as well. Yeah, so what they do now is they have a colors.js, and there they have a bunch of, so they have things like rose. I don't know how to pronounce this, I'll not try. Purple, violet, light blue, and then they have like, this is my favorite part, they have like 4 shades of gray. So they have warm gray, true gray and true gray, I don't know what's the difference. Cool gray and blue gray. So I've picked blue gray and teal out of there. You can just like require the tailwind slash colors. So I think that's pretty cool. Um, these exact colors, I don't think they're from 2.0. So we're just gonna wing it, eyeball it, see what looks good enough. Okay, so let's first get the DOM now. Enough talk. Okay, so this I'm gonna put it in an I don't know what to put it in. Let's just put it in an LI because I think there will be like a list of things, right? So there's a UL of pricing cards, and then there's like a each one of these is an LI, and I'm gonna make a component out of it so that I can price it. I'm gonna call it price row maybe. Let me just call it row. Okie dokie. Drops, and this should return the LI. And now we have a bunch of things. So we have this input that's just going to be input type radio, and name can be, I don't know, maybe the plan. There we go. Then we have this section. So that's like a div. Inside the div, we have the plan name. So name hobby. And then we have, this is interesting because you have like three things here. I could just dump all of this in one. So I'm just going to call it description. And then finally, I have the price on the right side, which also has two things. So there's like the actual price, and then it just says per month, which I'm gonna put in a span as well. Okay, okay. If we destructure this from their plan.price, perfect. Cool. This now should be row. Name is hobby. Don't need children. Description. Okay, I'm gonna put something here for CPUs. This is interesting. I think this is like the ASCII bullet. I've already searched for it sometime. Uh, is it this one? That seems huge. Maybe this one? Wow. That's not the one. How do I get the ASCII character? Uh, yeah, I guess. So this is really big. So we might want to break it later. Anyway, so this is 160 GB SSD disk. And finally, the price is 40. Oh, I messed up. I actually made these all props. That's okay. I'm just gonna take them as props. Cool. Do we get something? Yep, we got one. Let's also put the other one, and then we'll style them together. So DOM first, size styles later. Business is 32 GB, 8 CPUs, 640 test starts. It's a really good deal. 640 for $80. Okay, now let's get to styling. So I'm gonna put, I need a way to put three things next to each other. I'm running out of space now. Okay, I'm gonna put it like this. So this should be white. So the background fill should be, should I want to put gray light or do I want to put this? Maybe just this. And then the actual, like this background, I'm going to change it from gray 100 to something darker. Maybe this blue gray. Okay, what is it? Blue gray 100. Okay. And okay, I want some margin between these two, right? So I can either do margin bottom, but instead I want to put it on the list. So now this was a thing that in the last stream I struggled with because I don't have it. And the thing I was struggling with was there's a list, and then just outside there's a URL. And because there's no padding in between these two, how do you visually select things which are not even visible to you, right? So I figured out this way where I can like add the parents. So you see, this is the list item. Actually, let me show you another. So this is the input. Outside the input is the list. Outside of that is the UL. Uh, so you can like go here and then actually select something, and now you're in that. So that's something just like I needed it. So now you also have it. 6 maybe. I need the design again. Okay, and it's extremely rounded. So I have a feeling it's like rounded large or something. Yeah, and let's add the border. Border default. That's some purple. I don't know if I like it. And then there's a lot of padding. So padding up top, I'm gonna say either 12 pixels, 16, 12. I can't actually tell because this needs to be one row. So flex. Yeah, now we can see padding. A lot of padding. I'm trying to like eyeball how much this is between hobby and that, because feels like it's somewhere around 16. If this was Figma, I could like actually just check, but it's not. It's just an image. Okay, cool. So now we have the padding in place. And the text color, you see it's a little gray. It's not all the way dark. Can I zoom in? I lost it. There we go. It's dark, but it's not all pure black. So I think I'm gonna go with like some shade here. Okay. Now again, you see that we need like demarcation. So this whole thing has a flex, and I think I want justify between. Oh, I messed up because these two should be in the same parent, right? So that these two are together, and then this is on the right. Okay. All of this should be in a container. Okay, that'd be good. And then this container should also have a flex and a row with the center. Perfect. And I need some gap in between. Size, ooh, 2, 3, 2, 3, 3. All right, and now this one in itself is also a flex, but this time it's flex call. Okay, not this, the inner one. Not a span, not this div, this div. I absolutely love this feature because like I've needed it so many times where like you have to see which div you're selecting, otherwise how would you work? So I'm glad I built it. Flex, column, that's kind of it. This should be a lighter color. Okay, we need to pick a color so that we can stick to it. So this is probably too light. It looks like the right color, but I don't know if this is accessible. So I'm gonna pick like a slightly darker color. 500. I'll remember that because I need it for this as well. This should be 500 as well. And this is bold or medium. I think it's just a little, it's a medium. And okay, so this is also like vertical. So not the span, but the div flex column. See, I don't like this design. I don't think it's good. I would rather put it in one, but I guess for now we're just copying what Steve built. We're gonna trust Steve as the superior designer. So good. Okay, this actually doesn't look good. Where is white? How do I not have white here? Like this is a gray, this is a gray. I think I removed white from my config. Okay, let me add white as FF. Let me add the whole thing. So this is the color I want, and then I have to rebuild Tailwind, yarn, build Tailwind. I have the whole like long command already put here. Okay, that's done. Now I just need to start my server again. And the server uses the config, so it already knows that the colors have changed. Okay. So yeah, this now should be. Oh shit, that's why I don't see white. Do you see this? This is a white, but it has no border. How did I not run into this before? That's amazing. Okay, so yeah, I'm stupid. The color picker should have like borders around each swatch, because otherwise you wouldn't see them. Okay, but this looks better now. Uh, okay, what else should we design? Okay, this one, the input. This is very tricky because it's like a checkbox. Sorry, it's a radio, and radios look kind of ugly by default. Uh, I could try to like style it with like border and stuff. But I think there's like a Tailwind plugin for that, right? Because I think I heard him tweeting about this. Tailwind Labs, this is the one. Boom, 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 boom. Demo, show me the demo. Yes, it looks scary with the outline. Um, but yeah, this is the one I want. How do I get it? No, 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 no. Custom forms. I'm gonna bet this was part of Tailwind UI, so maybe I can just copy this into plugins. There you go. Now we gotta build it again. Build Tailwind CSS. How do you use this? Form radio. Okay, sure. Yep. Okay. And of course, I don't have custom plugin styles here. That'd be interesting to see, like if you could use plugins and it would show up here, but I have no idea how to do it yet. So I'm just gonna use good old classes like you would without a tool. And oh wow, this is cool. Huh, but this doesn't look filled or fat or how it should be. Let's see, form radio, that's the one. It's a type radio, that's good. Oh, okay. Oh, you can style it, interesting. That's on the parent though. How do I get it on the child? Okay, this is exactly what I'm looking for. Changing the color, there we go. So you can add a text to the indigo. Huh, I don't see it. Oh, I don't think it uses the actual text. I think it just uses the text variables to do it. Hmm, that's an interesting method. Doesn't look good though. I don't. Okay, let me try to install like the latest version explicitly. Or let me compare this. What are the styles on this? Input type form radio. Okay, then form radio checked. Yeah, so the not checked one looks fine. The checked one is the one that looks crap. And yeah, it uses current color, which is fine. Okay, and what do I have in my Tailwind output? Form radio. This seems the same. Default color, which can override with current color. Okay, seems like the same styles, but not the same result. I'm gonna blame it on the version, but let me see if I can make it a little better. Oh, wait a second. I don't think I'm doing it right. That's okay. Okay, Killian has an idea. For the swatches outline, try adding a subtle border with box shadow. Yeah, that'd be a good idea. Yeah, that makes sense. Especially if it's inset, right? That would look cool. Uh, okay, back to this. Um, it also has a border which we can change. And that's something. Should I increase the border? Oh, there we go. That's what I'm missing. I need a fat border, which is solid. Right, then we go. And I don't think that did anything. Okay, there we go. That did something. This is what we wanted. Perfect. So it is a border. Okay. The border by default is super skinny, and then I had to make it really fat. Okay. Cool, I like it. I don't like the color because it's very blue still, even though I don't want it to be that blue. But I'm willing to bet that that has something to do with Tailwind 2, and maybe this plugin doesn't yet support Tailwind 2, or maybe I should just like add the latest version because maybe they have done a new release. Oh, there you go. Okay, this is 4th September. Okay, that's not very new. Okay, so maybe we get the new one, maybe we don't. I'm not gonna sweat it. I'm gonna try it once. If it works, it works. Da-na-na-na. Cannot find. Ooh, this is my package. Why not? Uh-huh. Let's go to DevTools. What do we have here? We have 5.2 because I got a new release. So this should also have 5.2. There we go. Now do it again. Could not try to find what? I just updated it for you. Next example. What? Why is it trying to install a different repo? God damn. Okay, that's fine. I'm just gonna update all of them. Where are you? 5.2. That should make it happy. And back to example. Example. Now give me my new plugin. Oh, reps. Oh my god. Yarn workspaces. They're really good when they work, and they're really annoying when they don't. Okay, fine. Thank you. Cool. So we have 5.2. We have a new plugin now, hopefully. And then I need to rebuild it once, and then it should work. Cool. So while that's happening, how is everyone? What are you up to these days? Tailwind. Give me the new classes. Nice. Okay, now finally we're back. DevTools server, source, Tailwind config. For like an alpha, like totally new alpha release, this has actually been pretty smooth. This is the first problem I ran into, which was also with a plugin, not with the actual internal release. Okay, so this looks fine for me. I don't know how to change its color. Maybe it's just something I'm doing wrong. Indigo. Let's make it green and see if that works. Yeah, it seems like I just don't know how to change its color. What could be interesting is maybe it's if I put it on the parent, because I did see it had a current color. So maybe if I set it on the parent, then it would just pick it up. Did it? No. Okay, then I have no idea what I'm doing. So I'm just gonna keep it blue because that's how it looks now. We're gonna get blue instead of purple. Okay, moving on. I spent too much time on that. Okay, now I kind of want like both of these are selected, which is silly. It shouldn't be. So let's write some state. So I'm gonna say selected plan is just plan with a set plan. That should be fine. With a React use state, by default, oh, I need to give this like IDs of name. So this ID is 1, and this is ID 2. By default, 1 is actually, you know what, by default, nothing is selected. And then I can pass this is selected, which is going to be if plan is 1, this is plan is 2. Yeah, why not? And which means I can just make this checked if it's props dot is selected. Sweet. So by default, nothing is selected. If I select it, then I would fire set plan. So I'm going to pass that as well, which should call. Oh, then this should just be on change, because why does the component need to know the internal name? On change set plan 1, on change set plan 2, but only if it's selected. So this is going to be if event.target.checked, then set the plan. Perfect, because on change would also fire when it's turned off. We don't want that. We only want when it's turned on. On change. Okay, so now I can put in check, then an on change, props dot on change. Perfect, and this whole thing should be a label and not a div. So you should be able to click anywhere, which means inside this li, I need a label which wraps the whole thing, right? Actually, I can make the li a label and then wrap it in a li. Wow. Okay, there we go. Now I can click anywhere and it selects. Perfect. Now this border is also wrong because it should only show this border when it's selected. And this is where UI Devtools kind of like starts falling apart because it's really, it doesn't do conditionals. Because at least I don't know how to do conditionals yet. So I'll show you what I mean. And then maybe you can understand why is it weird. So what I want is if it's selected, then give me border indigo, otherwise give me border gray 300. Props dot is selected. Right, so this is, oops, it's selected, not defined. What? I made it props dot is selected. Right, so you can click any of these and let's also throw in a cursor pointer. There we go. Maybe some hover styles would be cool. But yeah, so you see I select something and it works. But now if you want to, so for example, if I wanted to change the default, like the gray of, let's say this one, right? Even though that's selected, when I make any of these changes, like gray, make it pink, right? It doesn't work because it gives me a warning that cannot predictably change the JSX. So it's just skipping it on pricing 37. Pricing 37 is this one. It's because it doesn't know, like, should I put it on this one or this one or this one, right? So it's kind of lost. I was trying to like think about like what would be the least surprise element? Like if I add it on the base, right? Like ignore the condition, add it here, then you can at least copy paste it back. But I don't think that's correct either because you'll have to like find it. It's essentially saying that the tool doesn't know which condition is active. And even if it does know, is this a condition style or is this a general style? So it basically skips and tells you it skips, but it also like leaves a console log here for you to like do it yourself. But yeah, that's kind of a limitation. So you can look at it. You can still like pick one. Like if I like this one, I can pick it, but it's not going to save it. Like you'll have to do it manually. So that's like a limitation. Conditionals don't really work. Okay. Okay, back to this. So I'm gonna make the UL fix width because it's really big right now. 960, 320. Yeah, this seems perfect. Okay, and so I want to do two more things. I want to do like this detail and I want to do this card. What's the time? Okay, it's 5:30. Yeah, there's still like only half an hour in. So let me do the detail and then I'll do the card. So to do the detail, I did a thing where I just put all of these together in features, description. That's not gonna work, I guess, because like it cannot be one thing. It has to be multiple so that there's space in between. So I'm gonna break it here first and maybe call it feature one and feature two. Hmm. Yeah, let's call it features. Make it an array because we're React developers here. We know how to do this. And I'm gonna copy this and I don't know, keep it somewhere so I can copy it again. And then this feature is feature one. This is feature two. There we go. And now props dot description. This is done for. We don't need this. What we need is a span. It's a map. So props dot features dot map, and then this needs to be feature one, and then slap a span here. Feature. There you go. And I also want to put this between two of them. Uh, I know there's a divide feature, but I don't know how to use it. So I'm just gonna chicken out here and say there are two spans. There's a props.features 0, and there's another span with a dot, and then there's a third span for 1. I'm sure there's a cleaner way of doing this, but I'm not here to show you React. So I'm gonna focus on the DevTools aspect of it, the styles, the tailwind. Okay, here we go. Spans, the big span, which probably should be a div by now, right? This should be a div, or instead of a span, maybe a list, I don't know. Get the parent, perfect. And now what I want to do is use the space utilities to space them out. Because if you look at this, it's really airy. And then I can go ahead, take this toggle and make this really tiny. Because that's how it is in the design. Really tiny, really gray. Maybe the gray is fine. And now you see it's not aligned. It's like it's a little off, which means the parent here needs to have like a flex center, align center. There we go. Okay, now we're good. Okay, perfect. That wasn't hard at all. Mm, let's see. Next up, I want to do these cards. So let's just make another UL. This is a second list, and this list has card and not row. I think I can reuse this entire thing, but just use a card instead. Right, and now I need to build a card. So let's do the way I like it, which is preview on the left, DOM on the right. Can I forward this? Thank you. Card, props. What are we returning? We're returning, oh, we had an li, I forgot. Li with a label inside it. And okay, so now we have multiple things. We have, can I zoom in? We have this header kind of a thing going on. So I'm just gonna call it a header. It has two things. It has the plan name, props.name, and then it has a checkbox, which if I know hero icons, if I know Steve, it's probably a hero icon from check. There you go, it's this one. I'll just drop it here, I guess. Yeah, and then in the next part we have, so this is the header, and then we have a, if we're getting like oddly semantic, this is a section with props.feature1, feature0, and feature1. I'm going to wrap both of these in a span. And then after the section, we have a footer. I really don't think we needed any of this. I think I'm just going to put it in the same, but fine, started props.price per month. Okay, so now this goes on the right. We have this card. Let me get another card going for the other plan. Let's put 3 plans this time. And then I need to come up with the, there's another name, small, medium, large, that's boring. Hobby, startup, business. Okay, let's do the startup plan then. So the middle one is a startup plan. They get half of what a business gets, 320. And sure, you can have 6 cards if you want. Perfect, so then we have some cards. Okay, now what's important about this is that one, it's a horizontal stack. So let's see, not the header, not the li. I need to go to the li, but I actually want the ul to be a flex. And I guess that's it. And then this li is white. So I really like this flow where like I can pick one and then it changes the rest because like the code actually saves. And this has a lot of border. We're gonna run out of space. Let's see, this is border. I'm gonna go with the same large. And let's make a selected one first so that we can change it later. Border default. Border color is gray 300, which is the boring one. And and then the UL should have space this size. What do you call it? Space X. What is it really called? Space X? How have I never realized this? What is it called? I put it on the UL. Oh, it is called Space X5. That's funny to think about now. And okay, now let's design these cards. This one got to be a flex. Should be centered, but with space between. But we lost all padding, so it should have a bunch of padding. Let's give it left, right. It's not a lot, it's probably 3. And I think I'm going to give it like 3 horizontal as well. This also has a border. Ooh, I don't have a border bottom. Like I added border to all of these. Not ideal, but okay. And then this part should have the same border. Border spacing. Left and right, they have the same 3. It's also 3 maybe. Looks very symmetrical. 3. Okay, and now this parent of this thing, this section should be horizontal. Flex column. Now you see the problems. This needs a little bit of like width on it. Otherwise it will just shrink up. So 640, that's a lot of it. Looking for something smaller like 224. Yep, I think this would work. Okay, now for color, this is lighter, so section color, I think we chose 500 last time. I'm gonna pick the same, blue gray 500. This is dark, but also big, right? This is bold and big. How big are we talking? It's not this big, it's probably this big. And now you see I'm regretting the padding decisions I've made. Uh, I like this padding, which kind of makes me think I don't want padding at all. I should have worked with space. So for horizontal stuff, I'm going to remove padding and use space Y on like the whole thing, whole label. Yep, that's more like it. So this is now all three, which makes it good. And then the last thing, because we need some more, I'm gonna add a margin 3. Okay. What? No? Oh shit, I know why this is. Because I'm sure it did work. The label has a space Y3. The footer has an MB3, but like it overrides it. Like the space on the parent the takes like it's more specific, so it takes more importance. I'm gonna go with padding. I don't like it, but it's fine. I don't know enough Tailwind to do it. How how somebody who knows Tailwind would. Okay. Now looking at this, I see that the padding is too much. This should be 2. Let's also give this the whole thing a little separated out. Thank you. Okay, now it's time for this color. So if it's selected, I'm just going to assume everything is selected and then make the conditionals after, because that's how Tailwind UI would, not Tailwind UI, UI Devtools would be able to read it properly. So purple, indigo, it's very light. It's probably this or blue. This one. And it's indigo. I actually think I'm missing like this is a purple, but this is not the purple he's using. He has something in between indigo and a purple. I don't know what color palette is this. But we're gonna stick to this one. It's all right. Oop, always need to scroll this down. Kind of bold. You know what? Screw it. I'm going purple. I just like purple more. Okay. And the text, the SVG, should also be purple. See, this is good. We have an overflow problem here, which means on the header, I can add an, oh, not on the header. Where is the border radius? There you go, rounded LG. That's where it should be. Overflow hidden. Good. And this same color should be the border here. So it should be border purple. Oh, I already have border. Yep. That's gonna be a pain, right? This is where the conditional will go. Wait, that's too dark. He doesn't have that as dark, so it's probably not using 600. He probably has something much lighter. Yeah, that's more interesting. It looks more like this. Okay, sure, why not? And this border that we had it, that should have the same. Purple 400 border. I need to make this border B. Perfect. That's another thing that is like, I have a feeling that a lot of people are gonna misunderstand about UI DevTools, that they'll assume that this should have all of the, I don't know, 250 properties that Tailwind supports. But that's never actually the goal. The goal is to like be a developer tool, like a Chrome DevTools, and like be able to write as much of your code for you. But uh, like just replacing a developer is not the goal. So sometimes you'll run into things which are better done in code, and then you should just do them in code. That's like there's nothing wrong about that approach. Okay. Yeah, so I've realized that I don't have this color at all, so I'm just gonna do a purple. That's what I had decided. Um, Now let's do the conditional because you have to do it here, and that's going to be, this is a problem, and this is a problem. So conditionals in both of these. Okay, get rid of this, get rid of this, and I'm just gonna bring the conditional up front. It's going to be props dot is selected. If it is selected, then give it a purple 400. Otherwise, give it a gray gray 300. Okay, what is selected? I have it all wrong. Business startup. First of all, this should be ID 3. Good. And this should be set plan 3. Okay, now we're good. The input needs to have an on change. Oh, that's the thing. See, I didn't really add an input yet. So how do I even select it? So I'm going to add an input wherever because it doesn't matter. I'm going to add it input type radio. Name is plan. And if you look at this, you don't actually see the input, and that's because it's hidden. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to hide it, but not just hide it because like it should be accessible and it should be non-screen reader only, or screen reader only, sorry, it should be screen reader only so that we don't see it. And it leaves this gap for me, which I'm going to just move over here. There we go. So now this is somewhere in the header. We don't see it. Only screen readers see it because, we don't need that. So, okay, now back to the conditionals. This would be useful again in the header. And remove this. Move this. This is going to be is selected. And, okay, what do we want? We want both of these, PG purple, and otherwise, I guess we want nothing. Yeah, seems about right. So this selected does not. Now finally text color. Interesting. Maybe I should have put the text color not on these two because they have the same color. The SVG and put it here. So this can be text purple. Remove it from the icon. And yeah, so it's dark. And oh, the icon should actually not even be visible. So fine, that's easy. We just do a, I guess we just don't render it. If props set selected, only then render the SVG. There you go. And now if you look at this, the colors are again like it's never like full dark. It's always like a lighter shade. Let me scroll this down. Yeah, see, it's never like all the way there. It's something like this. Okay, does this work? No, it doesn't. Because where is the input? We added the input, but we did not add the on change. So on change props dot on change. That'll be good. I have a feeling I'm putting the input at the wrong spot because it should be read before this, right? It shouldn't be read after this. Should be like if you look think about screen readers, it should be just inside the label. And I wonder if I'm actually even doing screen readers correctly. Uh, Input type radio. Googled everything. Everything. Value. Okay, that's important. Yeah, because otherwise, like, how does the screen reader even know what to say, you know? So this should be props dot plan. Okay, now we're good. So now we have the on change. Huh. Oh, it doesn't actually work because we don't have a label. Okay, so this should be at least inside the label. Yeah, something like this. And then I want it to be like not visible, so I'm gonna just make it like size 0. Mm. Okay, this is annoying because I thought if it's screen reader only, then it would like take care of it, but it doesn't because we have this space 3. That's where it needs all the extra size. I'm just gonna put it inside the header. And now it's like it's here, but you don't see it. Cool. So now if I hover or if I select something, it should work. I need a cursor pointer. Cursor pointer. There work. Cursor pointer. Interesting. Is that not how you write it? Cursor pointer. Actually, you know what? Let me add it here. Yeah, cursor pointer. Okay. So now I have these, and these are linked, which is fun. But yeah, I really like. I don't like how it doesn't match the design because like I've used all the wrong colors, right? Like it has a different blue. The border seems to be like more of a like it seems to be a bluish lightish shade. I've used light purple, and this color is also much lighter, but I refuse to use that color because like how do you read this? Or maybe it's just my bad monitor that makes it look very light. But yeah, I chose something that's lesser, but not all that much. So maybe I can go a little more. Because if I was sitting with a designer, that's the conversation we'd have. Uh, okay, fine. This probably readable. What would be a cool feature is if when you select something, it could tell you if this is accessible or not. Like if I could show you the contrast, like if it says 4.2, that's not accessible, then you got to bump it up, right? So that'd be a good feature. Okay, I got an interesting feature request today by myself. Okay, I think that's it. What time is it? It's 5:50. It's almost an hour. Good session. I like it. It's not too long, not too short, and hopefully, yeah, this was fun for you. I can't imagine it being a lot of fun. It's kind of boring to just see somebody do the work, but I hope like I'm quick enough that it's still entertaining. Okay, I'm gonna stop the stream here. And if you have any suggestions to like what should I code up next, because I Steve doesn't post a lot of things here, so I need more Tailwind design, like some things that are really good. Let's see. This could be fun. This whole panel. I've not actually done tables with Tailwind, so this would be interesting. There's so much going on here. There's like tiny icons. There's a drop down. Could be fun with avatars and everything. So yeah, maybe I'll do this one. But until then, ta-da. I'm doing it again. I always say bye, but I don't know how to close my stream. Found it.